What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Bring the Thunder podcast post-game discussion after a massive victory, 136-120 over the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm going to wait for some fans to join here, but what a win for OKC. What a bounce back. Proved that they, quite frankly, weren't trying hard on Sunday. Come out in the first half, score 80 points, 136 total points today. Shai, 42, 6 and 6 with 11 free throws, 9-11 from the free throw line. Oh, the Lakers, we didn't foul him. That's why he didn't get to the line on Sunday. Cap, he got to the line, 42 points. J-Dub, 26, 4 and 4 on 11 of 21. Dort, 17 points, 5 threes. Hartenstein, 8 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 massive blocks, one on LeBron and one massive maybe block of the year on Dalton Knecht. And continues, Chet with 14, Casey Wallace with 11, Caruso, absolutely amazing defense tonight, added 9 points, a couple big shots in the third and fourth quarters. What a win. Just to shut them up for a minute. I know they're going to come out and say, oh, well, Luka got ejected. They weren't going to win this game anyway. OKC was really locked in, especially in that fourth quarter, winning the fourth quarter 39-22. And it's a good feeling. I don't really care too much. I'm just happy to get this game over with and take the win and not have to deal with these Lakers for a little while.
Yeah, at least until the Western Conference Finals, we won't be dealing with these guys. So, and that's if they get there.
Yeah, I want to touch on the Hartenstein. I knew we were getting an elite rebounder and passing big man when we picked him up, but I was not expecting this level of protection at the rim. Some of the stuff he does at the rim defensively is super impressive.
Absolutely. He's definitely a top tier shot blocker in the league at this point. He's been known for massive blocks all season long, but just going back into the game, had some rough patches. Austin Reeves started the game unbelievable. That calmed down very quickly, though, until the fourth quarter. The Lakers, again, set a franchise record for threes in the first half. And they lost today. The Lakers shot 60% about from three in the first half, and they lost. They're not going to shoot like that every single game. They shot like that 2 games in a row, and they lost one. Just imagine what's going to happen when they don't shoot like that. OKC is more consistent from mid-range, especially when Shai's got it going. OKC got a little bit of a good look today. I saw Aaron Wiggins come off that bench and start off really poor, came in the second half, looked pretty decent, and the guys looked really happy for him on the bench because he's been struggling through injury and sickness and kind of just in a funk. And now he's looking like he's getting back to where he has to be. They also have A.J. Mitchell shooting around today in pregame warmups. That's another player who's going to come back. Really, really nice win tonight.
Yeah, I hope the Lakers fans that subscribed are here watching this.
Yeah, I don't see them. It's weird. They all said they'll be back. They subscribed just to come back, but I don't see them. It's odd.
Yeah, it'll be odd that we'll get a couple unsubscribes and probably some resubscribes next time they see us. I'm super happy with this win. I want to rattle off some, stats and things like that. So Thunder improve to 65-14, beat the Lakers on the series 2-1. The only team that has beaten us in the season series this year, which is crazy enough, is the Mavericks. But in all 3 games, we were either missing J-Dub, Shai, Chet, and in one of them we were missing all 3. So fantastic season, bounce back from a second game, 2-game losing streak here. We haven't had a 3-game losing streak all season. And then also we've broken a crazy record here. Most double-digit wins in an NBA season all time. We're up to 51. The last team that did this at 50 was the 1971-72 Los Angeles Lakers. And the 2016-17 Golden State Warriors had 48 double-digit wins like this. This is historic level dominance by the Thunder. And another crazy stat here, Shai's up to his 13th 40-point game. He leads the league in 50-point games with 4, 13 with 40, 30-point games, 49 of them, 20-point games, 75, which is him closing in on the Wilt record, I believe, who has, 80 out of 82. And then 10-point games, he has 76. And if he keeps this up, he'll probably start approaching LeBron's 10-point streak or even 20-point streak, things like that. So, I mean, this is one of the NBA's best scorers. And we've had guys like Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook in
Paul George.
our Paul George. I mean, we've had some crazy talent. So just to have this type of game and influence by the MVP, who has locked up the MVP about a month ago. Same thing with the seeding with the Thunder. We've locked up seeding, and the Lakers are still fighting to stay at least not getting the 6th seed. If they lose the Dallas game and then they lose their back-to-back after that, they could drop down as far as the 6th seed. So they're still in a battle right now trying to...
That's why they played all their guys tonight. They played all their guys tonight. They wanted it, and they got cooked. Listen, and Hotspot Casino, welcome back. You've been pretty consistent with us. Welcome back. Hope you're appreciating the pod tonight. But I'm going to put this one up here. King Cash, let me come at you a little bit, King Cash. Ref saved you. Ejecting Luka is crazy. Hope to see you all in the playoffs. This game was about to be a classic. Let me explain.
I have a comment on that. 37
right,
free throws for 37 free throws versus 20 free throws.
I was just going to go at Shai had 42 tonight. It would have been 50 if Luka didn't get ejected.
I literally said the same thing. Also,
another thing is your boy doesn't know when to stop running his mouth. The Mavericks said this is one of the reasons why they wanted to give him up, right? He talks too much. He does this stuff in the playoffs. He doesn't know when to stop. And another thing, you guys shot historic numbers 2 games in a row. 60% from 3 at the first half tonight, about 70 last game, and OKC still had 80 points. Imagine if you guys didn't shoot 60% to start the game from 3, and OKC still had 80 points. It would have been like 80-50, bro. 80-50. It wouldn't have been a close game. So you could talk about Luka getting ejected all you want. Right when he got ejected, LeBron had no hope. No hope. So you better hope that he's not getting ejected or he's not getting in foul trouble. We were going to cook either way, bro. It was just we wanted it more tonight. We wanted it more. We played our guys. Shai was cooking you guys. So, that's kind of a cop-out, but you're a Laker fan, so I get it.
Here, I got another crazy stat. The Lakers in the season series against us have 100+ more free throws. 100 more free throws. If you guys even got to the league average in free throws or even close, even if it was a 0-0 differential in free throws against us, this would be a clean sweep in a series. So if you guys think, if this whistle continues, obviously great for you guys. If this whistle even comes closer to the mean or the league average, it's over. There's no chance you can beat the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I could tell you right now, the whistle might not slow down for their 2 guys because they have the biggest whiners in the league. But for Austin Reeves isn't getting 14 free throws in the playoffs, guys. He's not. So, I mean, it just showed we had a good offensive night, but they can't guard us. And we've shown we can play good defense on them. They've just made a lot of threes in the last 2 games. But if they're not making those threes, they're getting absolutely cooked. And it's a wonderful feeling because we had all these guys talking to us. They're not here. I don't see a lot of them. But it's a good feeling. OKC looked really good. Shai looked amazing. Vanderbilt trying to guard him was not going to happen. I said this in the preview, actually. I said Vanderbilt's defense is extremely overrated, and he provides nothing on offense. Yeah, sure, he hustles for free throws, but they could put Vanderbilt all they want on Shai. It's not going to work. I would also like to welcome back Ralph Films. He's also another consistent viewer with us. So what up, Ralph Films?
Yeah, we appreciate the consistent viewers. Go ahead, Lynn.
Since you were bringing up crazy stats, I'm pretty confident at halftime the Thunder had 18 points off of turnovers and the Lakers had.
Yep. And I also want to point out another crazy stat in this game. They just in the previous game broke the record for most 3-pointers in a half. And then they broke their record again against us in this game. So it's like, if you guys think this level of shooting in terms of from the 3-point line is going to continue for a whole series. I mean, if it happens, it happens. Like, there's no team beating the Lakers at
If
that
it
point.
happens, God bless you, man. Like a good job. Like,
we'll take it. But if we're not going to count on, situations where you're shooting 80% from the 3 going into the half, right? Like that's just not something that's sustainable, especially against a team like ours. So, it's great to run victory laps when it's working, but when it's not, it just doesn't work.
Yeah. I'd also like to shout out Coach Mark Dagnall tonight. We wanted this one, especially after Sunday. It showed the intensity was there all game long, but big minutes to Cason Wallace and Alex Caruso, and even Aaron Wiggins coming off the bench. Putting in those lines without the double big worked absolutely perfect tonight. Great shooting, great defense, great turnovers into offense. That's what we're going to see in the playoffs. We're going to see a lot more Caruso instead of Chet and Hartenstein, because that's how we're going to win. We didn't show that as much last game, and I think what we were saying is kind of coming to truth here is where, we weren't trying to show many schemes defensively, offensively. I still don't think we were showing a lot. Defensively, we were kind of just putting people on people. I look to see Cason on Reeves. When Cason was guarding Reeves tonight, it was locked down. That's where Reeves went quiet for 2 whole quarters. Like when Cason was on him, Reeves did absolutely nothing. He was stuck on 18 for 2 quarters. So just great defense from both Cason and Caruso. They had some big-time threes. They had 5 steals combined tonight. So those guys are going to be massive in this series.
Yeah, I want to give a huge shout out real quick before you guys keep going to the IG chat. It's popping in there right now. We got Hayes, Kamigawa, Ball Out, Tonio, Keaton, Jonathan, and Chance. Thank you guys for joining us out there on the IG, and then Thunderrated. Thank you so much as well. So we got a bunch of chats on that side. Joe mentioned there's endless Lakers whining, which is unbearable. Garrett mentioned Dort for DPOY. Logan mentioned they had twice our free throws. Pretty ridiculous. We got the chat popping off over on IG. We'd love to hear you guys on the X. Like, you guys can, comment on there as well. We'll check that chat out and, respond to everyone. So
yeah, looking forward to all comments, even Laker fans. I'll answer truthfully. I came on a little strong, but for real, looking forward to all comments. But I'd like to put up this right here. He's not going to get it, but this is damn true right here. He is one of the better defenders in the league, Cason Wallace. Just the defense he plays on certain guys that are twice his size, not actually twice his size, but much bigger than him. Jaylen Brown, Luka Doncic. He's great on Reeves. I loved him on Reeves. But how about that defense from Caruso on LeBron? He was trying hard as hell tonight. He was getting it done. I know it's hard to do. So LeBron was getting his a little bit there as well. But
J-Dub had great defense on LeBron as well.
Yeah. Garrett, thank you for the follow on X, by the way.
Yeah, I just want to say Caruso went on that podcast. I forget what it was called. I think it's Old Man in the 3. And he said that Cason Wallace doesn't even read the scouting report. He just plays defense off of instinct.
No way. No way. That's crazy. I didn't see that. Goodness. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
But yeah, I kind of want to get back to a few things, right? Just to, I don't want to hear this, oh, Luka this, Luka that, Luka got ejected. Yeah, that's his fault, whatever. I'm going to get back to these threes. I'm just going to read them out. Reeves, 4 for 7. That's normal. I could deal with that. LeBron, 3 for 6. I guess that's, normal. I could deal with that. Dorian Finney-Smith had 4 threes tonight. 4 of them. Luka Doncic, 3 for 7. Like, he's not good from 3. But then I was just going to mention real quick.
My bad.
Gabe Vincent, 1 for 6 from 3. That's more like Gabe Vincent this year. Not the 5 threes he hit on Sunday. He played normal tonight, and they had really bad bench production tonight. Absolutely none, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say there may need to be more emphasis on covering Dorian Finney-Smith in the future. It seemed like he got a lot of open looks from 3 rather than contested looks.
Yeah, he's shooting lights out right now. He's been consistent in both the games. I knew, obviously, Gabe Vincent was going to come back down to earth, but his shooting has been impressive, and he's been a known performer in big games. Like, he's done it with Luka, and he has that chemistry. And he's just a consistent high-level shooter. He was one of the guys I've been saying probably for the past 3 to 4 years that we should target as Thunder fans to get him over here. And obviously now he's locked in with the Lakers.
We were talking about that on Sunday, I think.
Yeah. And I've mentioned this almost every trade deadline to get a guy like that. DFS is an amazing shooter.
Yeah, I'm really upset that the Laker fans didn't join back tonight. But I guess that's a good thing. DFS was looking like PJ Washington for a minute, says Dan on YouTube. Yeah, man, I guess I have a lot of respect for Dorian Finney-Smith. He's been a solid player everywhere he's been. But let's get back to OKC. I want to talk about the MVP tonight because that's locked up and wrapped because of the news earlier today. Jokic's coach gets fired and his GM, which makes no sense. But let's talk about Shai, and then we can get into that a little bit. 42, got to the line 11 times. Could have been more. A few calls went his way. Really forced the action, got to the rim. Mid-range was looking great like it was, all season long, besides this last couple rough games for him. Real efficient night from him. If he gets back going like he looked tonight and look like he's looked all season, that's where the difference is for OKC. If Shai goes from 28 to 40, which is very possible, he's been doing it all season, that's where we're going to win games.
Yeah, I liked the end of the third quarter. He saw we were kind of slacking offensively and our scoring was kind of going down. And he realized we needed a spark. And he kind of just took matters into his own hands. And that's just the MVP in him. That's what star players do.
Yeah, Sapphire, I want to ask you a question. Really good point by Landon. Kind of led me right into this. You were talking about that on Sunday, where he wasn't forcing the initiative. He was kind of fading away. Tonight, it was his game and it was his moment. Will he continue to do that in big moments?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, if you can get high efficiency when he has 0 free throws, if he's even getting close to his average of around 9 per game, I mean, at minimum, he should be, what I predicted was averaging probably like 38 in the playoffs. Like he should, by the time the Western Conference finals and finals roll around, he should be averaging close to 40, if not 40. So that's kind of the expectation. I mean, he's already averaging around 32, 33 points per game in the regular season. And guys like him that are MVP caliber only step up their game. They don't go down, and they at least meet the baseline average. So that's like the expectation. And we got to hold him to high standards. I mean, he's entering top 50 level all-time player caliber category. I mean, the season's over, the MVP's done. He's going to get the MVP. And we're looking at an all-time peak in terms of offensive masterclass by him. I mean, all season long, I already rattled off the amount of games that he's had consistently. But if he does this, the same type of run that he had last season, and we continue to win, it's just going to, get his case to be even more. And I could see him go back to back when it comes to MVP because of the type of player he is and the type of team we had. Like Chet being out, we could have easily had 70 wins this season. If we're any healthier, we had, I believe, 92 plus injuries as a team, which is most in history in terms of a team.
They were massive injuries too.
Yeah, massive injuries all around. So if we even have less than 50 injuries to all our players, cumulatively, we'll be at least hitting 70 plus wins if we're any healthier.
I do want to say the injury report has gotten shorter, and it seems like as I make my game day post on my account, the injury reports are just getting shorter and shorter.
Yeah, just
and really the last
right now and AJ.
Yeah, those
AJ should be back here. He should be back. Not the next game, but the game after that.
I just want to bring up one more thing before I get to some of these comments to Satvir again. I had a huge smile on my face when I saw Shai come back into the fourth quarter with 9 minutes left. We normally hold him off until about 4.5.
It's about
coming
to
in
that.
With 9 minutes left in the game. We were like, all right, Sunday was too much. I loved the fucking my bad, by the way, on YouTube. My bad. I love the get back tonight. The want to just absolutely destroy these guys. What are your thoughts on putting them back in so early?
Not to mention we play the Suns tomorrow. Love the aggressiveness.
Yeah.
I want to answer about the minutes with Shai. I think I mentioned it a couple of games ago where he's one of the few players for every minute he plays, he scores at least a point. If he's even getting more minutes as the minutes are going to ramp up for him, he's going to be so impressive in the playoffs. And that's where, I'm saying he can make that huge leap from 33 to maybe 36 to 38 points per game is the extra points. Like he came in at the 9-minute mark, which is, rare. We don't typically see that from Mark as an adjustment in terms of the rotation. So I thought that was pretty impressive, and we just let it ride and, let him pretty much cook. We got some comments here. One of them was underrated or thunderrated on IG mentioned. Can we explain why Luka Doncic got ejected and kind of explain the situation? I believe he had already picked up a technical before this
in the first half.
Landon, you want to talk about the first half technical?
I don't quite remember that one. I think it was just complete. I think it was whining to the refs.
The first half technical was whining.
Yep.
And then Landon, you were all over the second half technical. You might as well explain that for him.
I think a fan was in his head. He missed a shot. The fan had some words for Luka. Luka responded. Ref overheard it. Thought it was directed at him. It was directed at the fan. So it was a mix up there. It caused him to get ejected.
And the word that he used was the reason he got ejected. Like, you can't say that word just out in the air and not expect to get ejected after you hit a shot. Same thing with like Vando essentially getting straight into Caruso's face when he got his flagrant one. So you just can't do mental mistakes like that. And that's the reason the Mavericks traded this guy. He's a hothead. Like, we've seen him. Big games, big moments, he can get ejected. He's similar to a guy like Draymond, where if you can get in his head, whether it's the guys on the baseline, the fans, or
the thing is,
players. Go ahead.
The thing he's played in the league long enough to know it's unacceptable to respond to fans. You have to think a guy like Shai is getting crap from fans every single night that he plays in opposing arenas. He doesn't seem to have a problem with that. He doesn't respond to fans.
Shai's cool, bro. Shai's tough like that. Let me get to some of these comments. We got a bunch I wanted to get to. Put them on real quick. Travis H., what is more important in a playoff series for Thunder? SGA having 30-plus every game or the plus-minus of the second rotation? We go around and answer this. I think Shai having 30 every game, 30-plus, because if he's getting 30-plus every game on an efficient note, it's really going to turn more into close to 40, and that's where games will be won.
Yeah. I can go next. Like you mentioned, the rotation is just going to be a lot shorter. So even if the second unit rotation plus minus isn't the best, we have one of the best starting fives when it comes to as a whole. So like, as long as those guys like Chet, J-Dub are even playing up to their caliber, we shouldn't need the second unit rotation to go crazy, as long as they're providing like what a typical second unit should, maybe 10 points off the bench, maybe 15 max, like we'll be winning games regardless. So
Landon? Yeah, now that I've kind of had time to form a full answer, I'll have to go with Shai 30-plus, because pulling out the peanut butter and jelly reference here, when Shai's on, normally J-Dub kind of feeds off his scoring.
Absolutely.
When Shai's on, defenses send more pressure towards him, which opens up more opportunities for the four other players on the court. So Shai's kind of the center of everything offensively, if you think about it.
Absolutely. We'll get to another one here. We had a few guys ask this question. I'm just going to put Ralph Films up. I saw Rafi on Instagram as well. 25 free throws for the Lakers. He meant 25 more, I believe. We also had – here you go. Here's his second comment. Listen, the Lakers are going to get their majority of their calls. They have two of the biggest stars in the league. LeBron, his whole career, has gotten his calls, and no matter what, they are going to wind their butts off for those calls. All OKC can do is try to get to the line as much as they can. The defense, the whistle is going to be much more lenient for the Lakers, but if OKC is able to come close, they will win most of those games. The Lakers had 37 and the Thunder had 20. That's not great. I'd like to shorten that up a little bit, but also the Lakers do deserve some of those free throws. OKC's a bit undersized in this matchup on the wing play, so we will be scratching and fighting and trying to get more deflection, so they will turn into fouls. But yeah, if you've watched OKC, it's been a recurring thing against LeBron and other stars. They don't get as many foul calls. They never have, ever. So we will try to just keep it close.
Yeah. I also wanted to mention they shot 45% from 3 in this game as well. It's just, I mean, they've had 2 back-to-back. Like, they shot 55% from 3 the last game. If we're our typical selves offensively with Shai, like you guys mentioned, the team feeding off of Shai, we should have no problems just beating up against this team. They don't really have any point of attack defenders outside of Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt was absolutely getting destroyed by Shai. I don't think they have a actual Shai stopper on that team. They could maybe try different lineups of having Dorian Finney-Smith or something like that, but I don't think any of them can drop or stop Shai. Like,
no. They had Vanderbilt on him most of the game tonight, and he got 42 points. Vanderbilt's by far, quote unquote, their best defensive player and a really good defensive player. I don't believe any of that. I think he's awful. He's also dirty as hell and a moron for thinking he could talk smack. Who are you? Anyway, but yeah, they don't have anybody who can guard Shai on that team. That kind of leads me to this question. He said, how are we going to slow down Luka? He always has big games against us. Does that worry us in the playoffs? That kind of goes hand in hand. It's really hard to slow down Luka Doncic when he's on, but there's a lot of times where he can just have a terrible shooting night and rely on his mid-range and three-point shooting. We have to take advantage of those moments in those games and go on runs. But on the other side, they won't be able to slow down Shai. So it's going to be the others. It's going to be, can we slow down Reeves? What is LeBron doing? Is he going for 40 or is he going for mid-20s? It's going to be really just shut down Reeves, limit LeBron, and if Luka goes for 40, Shai needs to as well. That's the way I see it. Because guys like that, you can't guard. You could try to slow them down, but you can't guard them.
The thing I'm thinking about right now is the fact that, like, Luka, Reeves, and LeBron had kind of their typical games between all 3 of them where they all had their 20-plus. But their others didn't come to this game like the previous one. So as long as that's happening between our others and theirs, we should be winning this series if it is a Western Conference meetup that we do eventually have. But that goes against any team we'd see in any series. First round, second round, third, fourth, whatever. That's how we have beaten teams in the regular season with our largest point differential or net rating as well. So this is just something that we're consistently doing, and we should continue to do that.
I want to say
real quick, I'd like to apologize to Ralph Films and Rafi. Same person, just Ralph Films is the YouTube, Rafi's the Instagram.
I think it would be pretty idiotic coaching wise if we didn't keep sending defenders with fresh legs at Luka with how many point of attack defenders we have on this team. We kind of saw it we did see it in the Thunder Mavericks series in the playoffs last season. It makes it harder for a star like that to score if you keep sending new defenders at him. Makes it harder to attack them. He has to adjust to new types of defense. So I think your best bet is rotating through Caruso, Dort, Wallace, even maybe Shai at times. Shai's looked good defensively.
J-Dub, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, we can rotate through the guys, and we have that advantage of we have multiple guys that can pick up fouls against between Reeves, Luka, LeBron. Even at the end of the game, we saw Shai had 5 fouls by the end. So that's what we're going to have to do. And I don't think they have enough rotating guys between, I think, Rui, Vando, Finney-Smith to guard up on Shai. Eventually, one of those guys will end up fouling out. And if you have Vando closing minutes, he's not providing the offense. If you have Rui out of the game, things like that. So we can take advantage of it.
I'm sorry. This deserves an immediate shout out. The fan that was bickering with Luka was courtside tattoo guy.
Oh yeah,
No
yeah.
way. Okay,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Fly
I
Jordan.
saw him. I believe in the third. He was standing up a lot of the third, and I was just really happy. He was just going at him for a lot
That
of
guy's
random stuff.
awesome.
Yeah, he did egg him
Yeah.
on. It was a out of bounds play that Luka pushed Dort, and then they kind of had a back and forth. So Luka must have responded to that because I did see that during that time. So
There you go.
No.
Fly Jordy is actually thunder-rated. He said Lakers fans think they're shooting like this 7 games in a row. Like we said before in the beginning, if they do, damn, like that's a problem. But no, the Lakers will not continue to shoot 60%, 70% from 3 in the first half. Hopefully.
yeah,
Um,
that's kind of what we have to pretty much count on. We haven't seen shooting like this since like the Maverick series, and of course it's a Luka-led team. They know what kind of game plan that the Mavericks ran against us, which is having corner shooters, and they kind of ran that same game plan where they limited the paint against Shai the previous matchup, and we adjusted really well with Mark. Like Mark understood kind of the matchup a little bit better. I was hoping for a better game by Chet, but Hartenstein kind of just played harder, understood the rotations offensively and defensively a little bit better. I think that's where the 7-game series is going to be in our favor. We have high IQ guys that can just make a ton of adjustments, and there's not a lot of teams that can do that. Like they can do on-court adjustments. I've already talked about that, but the time between games, those adjustments, we have one of the best coaches in the league as well. So we should have no problems by creating advantages game to game.
Yeah. Well, here's one advantage that I wanted to get into. Turnover battle. Lakers 18 turnovers to our 6 over a 7-game series. We don't turn the ball over. We have some games where we have some mishaps, but we consistently do not turn the ball over, and we force turnovers and score off those turnovers. That's going to be a major factor into this series if it is a series, which it's looking like it will be. So we have a lot of ways we could win the series. We'll see how it unfolds, but tonight we'll take the win. Landon, you had a comment you wanted to get
to? Where is it?
It said Jay Hugh right here.
Yep, right here. He thinks Presti should have got more size on the wings this offseason. I was kind of pleading for it at the trade deadline, I'm not going to lie. But now looking at this team's success, I'm glad we stuck it out with this roster. But the thing, I've heard a lot of Thunder fans say this, but the thing is we have a lot of guards who play bigger height-wise than they actually are and can, or even size-wise, they can guard players who are bigger than them and get to the rim at will against defenders who are bigger than them. I'm talking about Dort. I'm talking about Wallace. I mean, I don't really have a problem with the roster construction because when you have guys that can defend guys who have 3 inches on them, I don't really see not having wings becoming a problem. Yeah.
I also want to mention another thing I was just looking up between both of the games. We did a lot better on the rebounding. I think overall this is about possessions. It's hard to get more rebounds when the other team is hitting all their shots like the previous game. But in this one, when they came down to earth even a little bit and they still shot really efficiently, as long as they're shooting around 40 to 45% and we can control the boards relatively alongside with them, it was a 45 to 44 kind of a wash on that end. As long as we can keep the possessions equal, we should have a great chance, considering we have the best player on the court in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, I do want to say I'm not against adding another shooter to this team this offseason. I think that's one thing that could be added to this team.
Yeah, someone off the bench. We also have Topic coming in. He's going to bring great size at like 6'8", 6'6", I believe. So he'll be providing rebounding, assisting, just great for the second unit. And rim pressure as well.
Shooting and defense are really the 2 question marks for him.
I'm going to answer this comment by King Cash. I don't care about the national respect as an OKC Thunder fan. They are going to talk about the Lakers every single day on ESPN, no matter what. It's Lakers, it's the Dallas Cowboys, and that's the whole show.
And MJ and LeBron debate.
Yeah, MJ, LeBron. We don't care. We don't need your national respect. They're going to talk about Luka getting ejected. We don't care. We won by 16, and we're going to beat you guys in the playoffs too. and then we'll get our national respect. We don't need to have Stephen A. screaming about Shai. What is that going to do? Make you feel good? I mean, not for me. I don't care.
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys is sending me. Yeah. I mean, am I wrong? But yeah, I mean, I guess we're 35 minutes in. We keep going.
Yeah, if there's any more comments.
Let me ask the comment. Do you guys want us to keep going here? I'll keep going. I could talk about this game for days, but I guess while we're waiting for comments to keep rolling in, I can talk. We won by 16 because we threw out your best player. Your best player doesn't guard nobody. What was he gonna do? We were gonna put up 150. He was in the whatever.
You could feel a switch of momentum too around the time that Luka was getting ejected. The game was starting to swing our way.
He was getting frustrated with the calls, the lack of calls against Dort guarding him, which has been consistent to the last playoffs and every time we play against him. He gets really frustrated when there's multiple point of attack defenders and he can't get anything but the crazy half-court shots or
the step-back threes, the one-leg turnaround mid-range.
Yeah, and if those stop falling, he starts getting frustrated, and then he starts talking to us or talking to the refs. Or
it starts with the refs. It happens every game. It happens every game. He gets super frustrated when he's not on, when people are in his head, and it's gonna come down to that, and it's gonna be great. And
I also want to say, like, I don't think we can count on his history of him holding his tongue. Like, he has said multiple times in interviews, like, "Oh, I'm going to be better with the refs. I'm going to, try to pick up less technicals." I believe last time he said that when he was on the Dallas Mavericks, like the very next game, he picked up a technical and possibly got ejected or something like that.
He picked up a T. That's something you can't really train. Your emotions, when you're an emotional person, unless you go to therapy or of some kind, you're not going to be able to get that under control. It's a true thing. Like, it's going to come out, and
he's all right.
He continues to do it. I'm glad OKC culture is bringing fans of other teams here. Awesome. Yeah, we are too. Super fun with a bunch of fans that come on. Before we do get off, let's look forward. Get over this Lakers stuff here. At Suns tomorrow, at Jazz, at Pelicans. I'm not looking to see anyone play against the Suns tomorrow. I think they deserve a rest day. We've locked up 1 seed weeks ago. Let's just get through this rest of the season. I don't expect anyone to play against the Jazz. Maybe a little bit of run, but that's it. And we are ready for the playoffs, man. I can't wait to see who we are going to end up playing in the first round. I wouldn't be surprised if it might be Minnesota at this point, but we will see.
I just checked the Cavs scores, and they absolutely throttled the Bulls. It was if the Cavs lose, we clinched home court advantage through the whole playoffs.
We need them to lose one.
Don't we need one more win to clinch?
Well, we need them to lose one out of their next whatever how many games they have left, and then as long as we win out, we'll still get it. It's still like in our control. But us losing the 2 back-to-back kind of put it a little bit less out of our control, but we still have full control. There's no reason we shouldn't win out the rest of the season. We'll most likely, at least what I'm predicting for the Suns game, is play most of our starters, blow them out by the third, and have the second unit and the bench guys come in, clean it up. Probably for the other 2 games, we should be able to easily blow them out with even our bench. So
yeah, our bench has proven that they blow out even decent teams like Portland. Bench is amazing, but we're still 2 games ahead, and there's 3 games left, so we'd have to lose out to lose control of.
So the Suns are down by 20 to the Warriors at halftime right now. So
they probably won't play Booker then.
The Suns are done.
If I would be willing to bet, there's going to be a lot of sit-outs for the Suns tomorrow.
The Suns are going to be now, after tonight's loss, 3 games out of the play-in tournament. Unbelievable.
And eliminated.
So they will be out. Yeah, imagine the Mavericks catch like the Timberwolves or the Warriors and get the 8 seed, bro. Like
the things I would do to play the Mavericks first round and
absolutely
smack them. That would be beautiful.
But I guess if you guys are cool, we could wrap this up here. Wait, one last one.
I do have another point, but go ahead.
I was just gonna put up Thunder Raid's comment. Awesome stuff. I truthfully believe it's Thunder in 6, but I love this comment. Great job, much needed.
Shannon shooting a cannon. Luka ran in Thunder in 5.
I like
love
that. I like that.
The thing I wanted to point out before we got off here is the Jokic. Obviously, he's lost MVP and lost his coach, lost his GM. But the other thing, this is a Sam Presti masterclass. We have the 2027 and the 2029 first round pick of the Nuggets. I don't understand how Presti knows what teams are going to start blowing things up or, blowing up their rosters, or, he just sees into the future so well. So last final point, win or lose today, we came out with at least 2 more amazing first rounders that we can add to this roster. So regardless, I mean, we're going to have a crazy team all throughout from this year up until 2029. The type of picks that we have accumulated in terms of where they're going to land and the type of talent that's coming into the NBA nowadays. Yeah, we're going to be scary for a long time.
Yeah, this isn't a contender. It's a dynasty.
Exactly.
I'm looking at one more comment here. Kid on Instagram, Zay, is that you? Can you guys look at my comment?
He said, are you guys worried about Chet? Do you guys think he stays with us in the near future? Is he the odd man out? I don't think anyone's the odd man out. We have
whoa. Chet's not going to be the odd man out, even if there was one. No shot. Don't be worried about that. Can we talk about the present?
Let's not get there. Yeah,
let's talk about the present.
Get there.
Let's talk about the present. We're the best team in the NBA. Let's keep it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, OKC takes this one, 136 to 120. Massive victory. Everyone can take a deep breath. Everyone who's here, we really appreciate you being here. Leave a subscribe on the YouTube if you are enjoying the show. Also, if you would be so kind, we're on Instagram, we're on Spotify, we're on X, we're on TikTok, and we're working on Apple Podcasts. And I probably left something out, but we're on everywhere at Bring the Thunder Podcast. But other than that, you guys ready to roll? Lock it in?
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, thanks for everyone for being here. And I forgot how we do this. Sapphire. Thunder up, baby. Let's go.